It's you! It's you!
So if you remember from my MLP movie video, this was originally supposed to be a top 10 dumbest moments for the last couple seasons of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, but then I thought about doing something more fun. So I'm going to take a page from Schaffrillas' book and ranking all the Star Wars movies in every possible category aside of the movies themselves, whether that be score, opening crawl, uses of R2 and 3PO, etc., and do something similar with My Little Pony seasons. And what better way to do that than with Discord, everyone's favorite bad Congress gone good-ish. Now, Discord's an interesting beast in terms of how he's been portrayed. Sometimes it's compelling to see his dilemma and balancing his chaosness with his friendship. Other times, the writers just don't know how to use them and write themselves into a corner as a result. But which seasons use them the best, and which ones are a matter of principles? Well, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, I'll admit, part of me thought it would be funny to put Season 1 high on this list due to how spectacularly bad the other seasons are. After all, there's only one real problem with the uses of Discord in this particular season. There's no uses of Discord in this particular season. But at the same time, I gotta be objective. This is exactly why it's at the bottom spot. I mean, you introduced this world of magic and talking horses, and even have your neighbor princess wanting to turn Equestria into the set of 30 Days of Night, and you don't even have my boy Discord here? It's almost like Hasbro wanted the more slice of life season, to the point where the season finale was about an overhyped Camelot party, and didn't know it would do well enough for a second season, let alone 8 more. I mean, jeez, My Little Pony the movie had more Discord in it, and he was only a balloon. So yeah, Season 1's hands down the worst in terms of my favorite Conquest, because he wasn't even introduced at this point. I mean, sure, some of the other seasons used him poorly, but at least they used him.
This is the most basic of jokes!
You're the most basic of jokes.
Both Season 5 episodes that start Discord aren't very good. Sure, they both had some humorous moments involving Discord, like the whole orange bit and the Metal Gear reference, but the episodes themselves just come across as awkward and kinda creepy. Let's start with Make New Friends but Keep Discord, where he basically stalks Fluttershy, lets the Smooths ruin the Grand Galloping Gala, and almost sends Tree Hugger to the Muppet Dimension, all because Fluttershy didn't include him as her +1. You know people can have multiple friends, right, Discord? As in, Twilight's multiple friends who initially defeated you. And then there's What About Discord, which had a ton of potential and they seem to have bonded with Twilight's friends, but here's the problem. The episode doesn't even focus on their bonding. It instead focuses on Twilight being so paranoid over missing their weekend get-together in favor of reorganizing her library, to the point where she actually gets Sakura to whip up a potion to get them out of Discord's supposed spell that she thought made them have fun together. I mean, seriously, why is Twilight so uncharacteristically untrustworthy in Discord in this episode? Was it because he initially betrayed her for Tyrek? Well, not to give anything away, but after Tyrek betrayed Discord, Discord later apologized and gave her the last key for Chekhov's box. Shit! Twilight herself called Discord a friend when she demanded Tyrek release him. Wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, it turns out Discord purposely had every pony neglect her so she could learn some lesson or some shit like that. So it's not like he's innocent by that standard.
Sounds like some pony needs a little motivation.
Seasons 8 and 9 are pretty much tied just above Season 5. On the one hand, they at least had one good episode with Big Matt as opposed to a few cute moments in 2 mediocre episodes. On the other hand, they had hands down the most controversial episodes for Discord, Matter of Principles, and the ending of the end. But which would I rather take? Well, I guess I judged them based on Discord's overall motives. And in the case of that, Matter of Principles is worse. Hands down. Like, what was Discord's deal with wanting to school of friendship? When did he suddenly take an interest in public education? I mean, yeah, he's taught lessons to Twilight and such, but it was in his own way, and he only did it to better himself. What was being the principal of this school gonna accomplish? Was it to hang out with his senpai Fluttershy more? Obviously not, because he sent her along with the rest of the main 6 to die in this quote-unquote friendship quest where she could have been killed. I wouldn't mind so much, except the way he tries to better the school is complete chaos that even Terex Fletcher would shake his head at. He decorates the principal office in a way where any creature could have been injured. He hires substitute teachers with absolute zero experience with teaching children, and he constantly disrupts lessons where he deliberately tries to get them killed. All in the case of gaslighting Starlight that her way of running the school is the wrong way. And the worst part of all this is, it worked! Starlight gave in, told Discord, "Perhaps I treated you too harshly," and let him take her place. She's just lucky the main six came in just in time to bail her out. And for the sake of this list, Discord's just lucky his other episode this season, Breakup Breakdown, had some fun interactions between him, Big Mac, and Spike as they try to get over a misunderstanding with Sugar Belle. So I guess Season 8's the yin-yang in terms of Discord, in that they give us one terrible Discord episode, and also one good Discord episode. And I suppose that's better than Season 5 having 2 mediocre episodes with a couple funny moments, one of which wasted a Generation 1 villain. Speaking of wasting Generation 1 villains...
I talk to animals, I want to marry Discord.
Yes, the Grog Actress is slightly better than Mad Principles, mainly because Discord actually had somewhat good intentions this time. Regardless, in the words of Alan Grant, some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best intentions. So Twyla's anxious about being the new ruler of Equestria, and Discord wants to help. What's his solution? Masquerade as Grogar as he brings all Equestria's greatest villains together, has them retrieve the bewitching bell and orchestrate an invasion that Twilight and company would then stop to regain her confidence. There are so many holes in this plan that I could write a book about it. First of all, as I've stated before, Discord has been known to be a teacher in his own way, but it's never been at this great a risk. If this plan failed, Equestria would have been destroyed and the deaths of countless lives, including Flashside, would have been on his hands. Second, is he really gonna trust T-Rex on his side again, even after T-Rex betrayed him before? And he acts so shocked when they eventually do betray him. Third, after they claimed they want the bewitching bell, why didn't Discord look around for it to see if they were telling the truth? I wouldn't mind so much if they didn't hide the bell right within the walls of his hideout, so Discord could have just pulled a Tony Stark and knew where he found it. Fourth, after he got betrayed and got his power sucked away, there was literally no reason for him to walk to Camelot and tell everybody that he set the villains free. I mean, wouldn't it have been more impactful to the story if the villains captured Discord and brought him to Camelot? Then when Cozy Glow was attacking Camelot, she said something like, "You know, none of this would have been possible if it weren't for Discord," and that's when the main six figured it out, instead of Discord just not knowing how to keep his mouth shut like it was gonna help matters. That's like if after Mel Gibson publicly turned his son Ransom into a bounty, leading to Gary Sinise's fake on a rescue mission to collect it, he just flat out told everyone, "By the way, I was a kidnapper all along." Seriously, how stupid could Discord really be in this final season? By the end of the day, not only is he lucky that they didn't just turn him back to stone along with the rest of the villains, but again, he's just lucky that Big Mac Question had some fun interactions with Big Mac and Spike as he tried to propose a Sugar Belle. So again, I'd rather take one good episode among a series of not so great ones in Season 9 than just 2 mediocre ones in Season 5. Now that we got the 2 most controversial Discord moments out of the way, now we can get to the seasons where he was consistently used well.
They took Fluttershy.
Finally, the first season on this list where all the Discord episodes are good, albeit flawed. I'll explain. Dungeons & Discords had a really funny opening about Discord's reluctance to hang out with Spike and Big Mac while the main six are away. Part of his funniest scenes involving pressing the invert color setting on Adobe Premiere and literally leading the train track to a volcano as a last-day effort to convince them to stay. And the ending where Discord gets so fed up with playing the board game that he takes into all these different worlds until finally saying on just a real-life version of Dungeons & Dragons, with no overacting Jeremy Irons or Chris Pine turning into opening Mario 64 screens. So I'm somewhat conflicted here. But the male part is where it honestly kind of dragged, because it's mostly just Discord being bored with them playing a board game. Sure, Discord has a cute gag in there, but it's mostly them just playing the board game, nothing more, nothing less. But that's nothing compared to the above averageness which was the 2-part finale. First of all, the pacing in part 1 is extremely off. It's mostly just Starlight debating whether to return to her old town, starting to go there, changing her mind halfway, going back to Ponyville and noticing things are off, figuring out they've been captured, setting up a little suicide squad to save them, and thus Discord doesn't even show up until 20 minutes in, where he gets one moment of him showing up his powers to convince them he's not a changeling, and then teleport them just outside the changeling base. Then in part 2, they discover their magic doesn't work in the changeling base, so they have to improvise. So Discord still manages to be funny by distracting some guards, only to get cornered by changelings disguised as Fluttershy. Thus he doesn't even show up again until Chrysalis is overthrown. So yeah, all these episodes are better than some of the ones in the previously mentioned seasons, but still not great uses of our Lord of Chaos.
Go Discord!
How coincidental that the next season on this list is the one immediately afterwards, season 7. And Celestial Advice doesn't have a ton of Discord, as you receive in his and the others' medals for stopping Chrysalis in convincing Twilight to move Starlight past the pupil stage. But to be fair, this episode isn't about Discord as much as it's about Twilight figuring out what to do to Starlight, so I'm not too upset here. But what really puts this high on the list is Discord and Harmony. So it's Discord's first time hosting a tea party for Fluttershy as opposed to the other way around, so his solution is to try to make it as normal as possible, as he thinks it'll appease her more. I mean, acting normal for an hour isn't gonna kill him, right? Actually it does, both figuratively and literally. Not only does Fluttershy admit she expected something truly abnormal from Discord hosting a tea party, but the more Discord tries to be normal, he ends up fading away from existence. So it's up to Fluttershy to be chaotic long enough for Discord to turn back to normal. Or abnormal. And the animators clearly had a ton of fun animating the stuff Discord does, both in preparing for the party and getting back to his normal self, leading to hands down Discord's best non-story essential episode. Notice how I said non-story essential here, because we still got 3 more seasons to go.
Oh, I'm going to need more popcorn.
Being that season 4 is the first season where Discord's a full-blown anti-hero, there's bound to be some tension between him and the other ponies. Most notably when the main 6 initially blame him for the Everly Forest acting up. After all, Three's a Crowd is the episode where he faked an illness just for Twilight and Cadence to notice him. But unlike some certain episodes, he actually does get his comeuppance at the end where he gets sick for real. Side note, it's real sad that this is the only musical number from this entire series, because Glass of Water is both a banger and a fantastic showcase of his abilities. Only enough to the finale where Tirith convinces him to return to his evil ways by promising he'll be the Lord Chaos he once was. Thus he joined forces to, what else? Take over the world.
Of course!
But as stated before, Tirith ends up stabbing him in the back, and when Twilight frees him, he gives her Tirich's necklace, which turned out to be the key to Chekhov's box. Thus eventually cementing himself to be trustworthy to not just Twilight and company, but all of Equestria. Until the last couple seasons, this all that in front of subverting expectations.
How could you bring Discord here?
Our second to last season on this list just so happens to be the one where Discords officially were formed. Kid Con and Floweron has Celestia tasking the main 6 to convince him to use his magic for good, specifically singling out Fluttershy due to her ability to find the good in any pony. And naturally, Discord initially uses her kindness as an excuse to do whatever he wants, literally causing chaos all around them. Probably the funniest bits involve him messing with Angel Bunny, because of course there's bound to be strife between the biggest menace in Fluttershy's life and the Lord of Chaos. My only real problem is that the eventual moment where he does turn good is a tad rushed. I think it was a bit too frantic at Fluttershy finally called out Discord's BS, and 2 seconds later Discord's like, okay, and turns good. I wish there was at least one scene of Discord going out doing his usual shtick, only to then feel empty inside without Fluttershy, and that's what gets him to be a good guy. I know we got a 2-minute time frame, but you could have easily cut out that Beaver subplot. But this episode was still fun promise of a brand new start for a beloved Draconiquist. And yet, there's still one season better.
Chaos is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Well, what do you know? The best season for Discord just so happens to be the only one who is a full-blown villain. And you know what? In the episode Return of Harmony, he does work well as a villain. Not only is his desire to make everything chaotic a ton of fun to watch, not only are John Delancey and the animators clearly having a ton of fun at this character, but he's probably the smartest of all the villains. I mean, he tricked the main 6 into entering the Shining Maze, exposed their inner flaws which literally turned them into complete opposites, and for a moment he actually won. He proved to be the ultimate criminal mastermind in Equestria, and you bet he was savoring every moment of it. The only thing that got him defeated was his delusion of grandeur when Twilight and company eventually did come back to their senses and defeated him rather quickly. It makes me kinda wish I got to see more of his villainous side. intentionally villainous side. There's a reason why I made an alternate version of him the main villain in Beyond the Multiverse, because I feel like he's at his fullest potential without all the boundaries of friendship weighing him down. So considering that Discord's best season was the one where he was a villain, I guess you can say
I liked you better before.